So I've never left Edinburgh. I was born here. Then went to the Edinburgh Academy, played rugby there and went to school there. And throughout the whole time I was at Accies Minis. And then as I went into senior school, it changed to Bats. And then moved to Fettes when I was 12, and then stayed all the way through there. Like after under 16 Scotland stuff, I wasn't really, I kind of dropped out of the pathway a wee bit. It was Mark Appleson, who's now Director of Sport at Fettes. He allowed me to come train when I was 16. In my second last year of school, he allowed me to come train down here, which is amazing because it's so different to school rugby. And then in my final year of school, I managed to get a couple games here, which I think that was definitely the significant part that changed things in my journey a wee bit. When I get comfortable in an environment, I'd say fairly chirpy. I wouldn't say quiet at first, and then, I don't know, I get quite a lot of enjoyment out of freaking people out a bit. I think it makes life a bit more interesting. Yeah, but I get a lot of entertainment out of it selfishly, so as long as I'm enjoying it, I continue to do it a wee bit. When the time's right. I think I've learned a wee bit of the balance, but maybe not enough. I haven't had any of the big ACLs, Achilles, things like that, but I've just had a lot of a 4 month there, then back for a couple of months, and another 4 months. Over the 4 or 5 years, the accumulated injury time is unbelievable. Well over half, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I haven't really had another. I've kind of said to myself, I don't really have another choice, But also, the thing I loved early days being injured was just so we call the grafters, the injured group. You'll probably get a lot closer with guys that you never would have before. So that was awesome. That's a real silver lining. It is mad how quickly things can change, as in how quickly the squad can change and how quickly you get opportunity out of nowhere. And that happened last year as well. Not really that close to the starting squad at all, and then a couple of guys go down in the warm up, and then you're in. I suppose from a social point of view, it kind of becomes a lot more comfortable, and that's the nice thing. You become initially quite intimidated and starstruck in a way with guys like Darcy and Doohan and Boff and stuff, and Wes as well. I didn't tell him initially because I would have creeped him out too much, but we were best mates from the get-go because he didn't have a car when he first came here, so I was giving him lifts all the time. But I kind of asked him, because he's from New Zealand, I was like, "Oh, you Lord of the Rings fan?" He hasn't seen it, and I asked him about some other film series, and he was like, "Nah, mate." I was like, that was pretty much all the chat we had. So initially, it was a tough start. I confessed to him a couple of weeks ago that I actually constantly watched his highlights and stuff when I was younger, and I remembered his try against the Brumbies or something off a line out where he absolutely rinses everyone. Anyway, so I kind of fanboyed him there. Yeah, and I also watched his school highlights, his uni highlights actually, the other day, which was quite cool. So I'm a big fan of Wes, and we're best pals. So I think, yeah, that's what I mean by that. Initially you're a bit but the more you spend time around them, the more comfortable you get, and it actually develops into somewhat of a friendship, which is quite nice. Doohan will still go with the stance that we're colleagues and we need to, he doesn't like me very much sometimes, so that's a relationship I need to work on, but I think we're getting there. It's pretty cool. I think it's probably important to remind yourself of that every now and then, because when it becomes what you're doing full time and a job almost, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that it's always what you wanted to do, and it's your boyhood club and all that. So I think a lot of players don't get to, we've got quite a few boys from other clubs and or people that are from other parts of Scotland, things like that. So yeah, there's not actually that many of us who are born in Edinburgh, play for Edinburgh, so I suppose it's about just really enjoying that. I know it's a massive cliche, but I mean, cliches are there for a reason, because more often than not true. It hasn't quite hit me. I don't know. I just keep seeing things, and yeah, just genuinely like, well, is this reality? If I'm honest. A call from Gregor, I was pretty surprised. I also thought it might have been a call where it's like, oh, you've been doing all right for Edinburgh, but you know, you're not going to be in the squad. This is why. Da da da. But yeah, I was pretty shocked. It was just me and Harry Morris in the changing room. And he's got a pretty big mouth, so I had to be like, I'd quite like to tell some of the boys myself. And then before I knew it, in one of our group chats, he was like, oh, have any of the boys got some news to tell? But no, bless him, yeah, he was just excited, I think. Yeah, no, I was massively surprised, and I saw my parents straight away. Yeah, no, it's a real nice moment. But yeah, no, I'm so chuffed. Like I really didn't think this would happen. You know, I've only played a few games for Edinburgh, never mind getting any type of national attention. So that's the dream, isn't it? Yeah. Again, I'm just kind of digesting being in the squad. Never mind any idea of playing in any way. But you know, that's what I'm going to go in trying to do. You know, if I'm in the squad, I've got to go in and have a crack.